Oh my gosh, Bonica, I'm sorry, I'm already in the chat watching you guys as we're getting ready. Bonica Stubbs says, "Really, Don? TikTok?" Yes, Bonica. What's wrong with Bonica Stubbs? What's wrong with TikTok? Good morning. Where are you streaming from? Good morning from Louisiana. Love your show. Don Lemon says Tiny49. Hello, everyone. How are you doing this morning? I'm so glad that you guys are here. If you think DeSantis is a good pick, you're off your rocker. He eats pudding with his fingers and will do Trump's bidding, says Amanda Day. Hey, guys, how are you? Oh, my gosh. I tried. I don't know if hello. TikTok is starting to put things on already. I tried with the sweater, and then it's so hot. I got to take it off. Oh, my gosh. This sweater is warm. It's cold here in New York, but it's warm in the room where I am. Allison Kinsey is in New Jersey. Lally's replacement is in Bedford. Ambrose Blanc is in New York City. Jamie Kinsey is in Los Angeles. Jean Williams is Chesterfield, Virginia. Ontario, Canada. Joanne Leslie. Wow, guys. Woo! Was sweating in here with the thing. Sweating to the oldies. Or sweating with the oldies. That's me. How are you? I'm very proud of our thumbnail. Did you guys see it? So make sure you smash the thumbs up. I am being told by everyone that you guys aren't smashing and you're not doing the subscription thing. So if you're going to comment or be in the chat soon, you're going to have to be a subscriber. I'm just telling you. So hi, Trey. Hi, Trav. I have a giant cup of coffee here. So maybe that's why I'm schwitzing. Hi, Diamond Girl. Hi, Jenny Powers. Good morning from Denver. Let's see. Oh, someone's in Tato. How do you say that? Guanajuato, Mexico. Arizona's in the house. Ray Girl. Who's from Mexico? Who is that? Dean Sparks. Sinister pronunciation. Temecula, California. Do you guys remember that Temecula meme that was going on? Sunny Florida. Man, you know, I love the weather in Florida. Zurich, Switzerland, Benjamin. How are you? Sunny Florida, I just can't deal with some of the politics there. And it just gets a little nuts when I'm there because of the person, one of the people we're going to talk about this morning. And that's why I'm so proud of our thumbnail. It says, did you guys get it? Anyone? I don't want to get out of bed in California, says May Money. Good morning. So anyone, do you understand? I'm going to see if you guys understand the thumbnail before I even explain it. Did you guys get it? Hi, Chanta from the Netherlands. I think that's as far. Sherry Jameson, thank you for your support of independent media. You're the best. I'm just going to talk to you guys this morning. Barcelona is checking in from G. Albert. Wow, you guys are amazing. Yeah, I love it. From the Netherlands. Is Pete out? We don't know. We're going to talk. I have a lot to share. We have some breaking news too, as it relates to that. The 10 a.m. show is my preference. Hello, Don. Drew Particon says, Sherry Jameson, thank you for supporting independent media. Zambia. Wow. Naman Golwa from Livingstone, Zambia. You know what I love is that Guanajuato, Mexico. Thank you, Dean Sparks. Guanajuato, Mexico. Great. London, UK says Jay Halved. So you know what I love the most? I love is that I can do with this whatever I want. Like I don't have to come on and go, God, hello everybody, good morning. We start with and we begin with breaking news. Da, 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 da. Or rush. I think that's why people like the lives. Our lives do really well. And we were thinking of changing it up. It's so funny. A user on TikTok, his name says Pete is out. So if you guys know for sure, if you're on TikTok, smash the hearts. Yeah. Thanks for your support of independent media, Sherry Jameson. Nappy Chow says. Lindy Shirice, thank you as well. I appreciate your support. Okay, so be your authentic. Okay, I don't know what that means. So anyway, wow, Uganda. You guys are, I cannot believe don't make me get emotional. You guys are like tuning in from everywhere. I love it. Toronto, Chicago. I'm just going to give you guys some love. and talk, because I know that's why you tune in a lot, is just to hear me talk. And I'm so honored that you guys will tune in just to hear me shoot the shit. And I love you for it. Kampala, Uganda, Tony. I love it. I love it. I love the Bahamas, Miss C. Man, I wish I was in the Caribbean. But when I'm in the Caribbean, I don't get to talk to you guys as much as I would like. Okay. So I feel like it's old school when you used to do like those lives. Be your authentic self. Thank you. I agree. I agree with you. Everyone, be your authentic self. I hope you saw the show I did yesterday. If you didn't see the one where the news anchor said, Don, you are my therapy. Thank you, Pamela. Where the news anchor said, Candace Gibson, who's an old friend of mine, who said that the news almost cost him his life. Nairobi, Kenya. Oh my gosh. Ingele Madoka from Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you. I haven't been to Africa. I haven't been to Kenya in a long time. Nairobi, I've been there. I'm going to go back. I think that's what I'll do. I'll do a little trip there. But I love it. I love it. I love it. Edgar Rodriguez. Wow. Edgar, thank you for your support of independent media. You guys are amazing. Hi, Don. Watching you live from MDUSA, Maryland. Okay, so listen, we'll if we can, put up a poll now. Do you guys like the 10 a.m. show or do you like the 5 p.m. show? That's our live show. Edgar Rodriguez, you are the man for your support. TikTok, thank you so much. I appreciate it that you are there. Smash the things. I would love to see some galaxies or whatever. So I'm just going to talk to you guys before I get into the news, because I think like in the morning, you just want to get into it. Do you guys understand the thumbnail? Did you get it? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Paula P says 10 a.m. Uh-oh, Nikki. Are you there, Nikki? Nikki?
I am. I'm here.
We're going to have a problem. Nikki,
I told you
we're going to have a problem.
Depending on where we do it.
Oh my gosh. We're thinking of, okay, so here's the thing. We're thinking of going to one show a day, one live show, not just a show, but like doing a tape show and doing some takes or whatever. Got it, 5 p.m. And so we put up a thing, 10 a.m. Eastern is too early for West Coast in the U.S. Okay. Oh, Riverhead, New York. Hi, Danny and Shaw. I know Riverhead well. It's on the way to my crib. So I always miss the 10 a.m. show, but I like to watch and listen to the 5 p.m. show while I am cooking dinner. Nikki, what are we gonna do? You don't like you don't like hearing this, do you? Live 10 a.m. taped 10 a.m. winter, 5 p.m. summer. Boo, West Coast. What do you mean, Aaliyah, about West Coast? We're gonna game this out. I'm gonna get into the news. We're gonna game this out. You can weigh in too on TikTok if you want. Or what are the other platforms that we're live on, Nikki?
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, you guys can weigh in there too. Danilyn Tuthill says 5 p.m. See, I love the 10 a.m. I can get some work done while listening, says Glenn Santa. Oh my gosh, that's on Facebook. And if you say, here's a weird thing, TikTok, you can't be so sensitive, because if we say other platforms, you know what they do? I think a lot of times we get suppressed on the talk because we talk about other platforms and we talk about sensitive subjects and we talk about politics. And I think do a live 10 a.m. and a rerun at 5 p.m. says Peanut be gone. What is a general consensus? Okay, so here's the thing. All right. Okay. So, Nikki, you're right. So yesterday we did this at 5 o'clock, right, Nikki? And what happened? It was
5. Everyone wanted the 5 p.m.
And it's almost the same result.
But it's swapped here.
But swapped. So it's 10 a.m. Now it's like, you know, there's a little more, 70%. It was yesterday, it was like almost 60-40 for the 5 at 5 o'clock. But this is almost like, this is 70-30.
Well, we also do have a community post up with a community poll. So
and what does it say?
If you all want to go vote in the community poll, that could help us get a better idea of what everyone wants.
Marilyn Love says, Marin B. Marilove, excuse me, says, I should put some shoes on. See what you've created? You've got to keep rolling, LOL. I know. Beth Collier, I love it. Anytime in the AM, Beth Collier says, I love to see Beth's face. Thank you for support of independent media, Beth. May Money, thank you for your support as well. I prefer the 10 a.m. show because 2 o'clock on the West Coast. I am at work. Can't join live, but it's okay. I enjoy either way. Much love. Thank you, May Money, in the building. You guys, I mean, we have some loyal, great followers. Nikki, we have to start looking for some merch, okay? I say, but maybe we're not so small. We're small but mighty. The Lemon Heads, Lemon Nation. I love both shoes, which I know you mean I love both shows. Gosh, I am so torn about this. Maybe we have to figure out how to do it. I have an idea. Nikki will talk about the idea. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for you. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you smash the hearts. Remember TikTok, I'm going to come over and talk to you live right after this. If I have enough time, because usually I ramble on like I'm rambling now, and then we don't get to all the elements and stuff that we have in the show, blah, 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 blah. People are sending me stories that's happening now. Okay, so here's the thing. Hi, everybody. Definitely need some merch. Okay, so here we go. Let me tell you this. So this is there is trouble in MAGA land, in MAGA paradise. And I have some breaking news to prove it, okay? I'm going to go over to, I'm watching on TikTok, on YouTube now, so I'm going to go over to our live feed. Okay, so here we are. There's trouble. Another one of Trump's cabinet nominees seems to be on the ropes, reportedly only days or perhaps hours from being pulled by the president-elect. That is the reporting, but there may be some new information. There is some new information that we have coming in, and I am getting breaking news updates right as we speak from my producers right now. And let's see what it is. Can you grab that reporting that producer writer Peter just put into the thing? Okay, so here's the thing. It's Pete Hegseth. I was going to ask, who do you think it is? Is it Tulsi Gabbard? Is it RFK? It's Pete Hegseth. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to show you the reporting that is coming from, it's being reported by a number of people. It is being reported by CBS. It's being reported by Mark Caputo. But this is Morning Joe, and just a little short clip of what is going on here. Here it is.
Street Journal and The Bulwark are reporting that President-elect Trump is weighing whether to replace him with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
I want to make sure that we get I think it's the Wall Street Journal and the Bulwark they're saying. Go on.
Wall Street Journal and The Bulwark are reporting that President-elect Trump is weighing whether to replace him with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Both outlets cite people familiar with the discussions. NBC News has not independently confirmed the reporting, but this comes amid increasing concerns from some Republican lawmakers over the mounting allegations concerning Hegseth's personal life. People close to the president-elect's team tell the Journal Trump allies believe Hegseth's nomination may not survive further scrutiny. As the paper notes, picking DeSantis would amount to a stunning turn for Trump, but in DeSantis, Trump has a well-known conservative with both military and executive experience who shares Trump's and Hegseth's view on eliminating the so-called woke policies from the armed forces.
Can we please stop it with the woke shit? You guys don't even know what that really means. The woke policies or whatever, it's just become a thing that people say and they don't even know. What was the other thing? Some people used to say the woke stuff, that's like a thing. Then it would become Antifa. It was just like things that people have no idea what it is. They just hear it, conservative media, and then they just start to repeat it. The woke policies. Woke is a good thing. It's like being aware of, well, anyway, so I digress. Okay, so here's the thing. So the reporting is that Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis have personally discussed the possibility of the Florida governor becoming the next Secretary of Defense amid concerns that these essay allegations could engulf the president-elect's current nominee for the post, and that is Pete Hegseth, okay? But stand by for news. There's more to come, okay? I'm not done with this reporting yet. The talks relayed by 4 sources who were briefed on them are in their advanced stages. They underscore the fears within Trump world about Hegseth's ability to survive a Senate confirmation process, despite public posturing from Hegseth and allies that he remains committed to ending up at the DOD, which is the Department of Defense, okay? So here's a quote. These discussions are real. It's serious. I can't say it definitely is going to happen, but the governor is receptive and Trump is serious too. A top Republican source familiar with the conversations told the Bulwark on the condition of anonymity. Okay. And then it goes on. So here's the and last night there was this reporting. This reporting came out last night. There's also a report that the DeSantis folks were pushing this. People weren't sure how real it was because they wanted it to be reality. Okay. They wanted it to be reality. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you smash the hearts if you're on TikTok. They wanted it to be a reality. Want people to tune into our conversation. So listen, this is a weird thing, right? Because this whole family dynamic, this whole nepotism thing, whole nepo baby, if you want to discuss. The discussions are around DeSantis involved untangling several different political threads, okay? The governor is currently handling the fallout of a separate Trump cabinet pick, Marco Rubio's nomination to be Secretary of State. DeSantis is weighing whether to appoint Trump's daughter-in-law. This is some crazy shit, right? I mean, look, you guys voted for this. Think about it. Look, before I even go on, all right, if you're a MAGA, because I know MAGA folks watch us on TikTok and they watch us on Facebook, they watch us on whatever. If you are a MAGA person, are you okay with this chaos? Because just think about all the people that we have gone through. Where's the list of just all the people that we have gone through? You've got trouble with Tulsi Gabbard. They believe, it has been reported, Russian asset. You have trouble with Pete Hegseth. Look at what happened with Matt Gaetz. Who am I missing? Oh, what's his name? Patel. I mean, almost every single one of them is problematic. The issue with the WWE woman, Linda McMahon, and allegedly covering up SA allegations at the WWE. I mean, you have Pam Bondi with the payment, the $25,000. I mean, it's crazy. So maybe people are drawn to the chaos. You think like the chaos is something that's good because when people are quiet, you feel like there's nothing going on and that maybe they're not doing their jobs, but they're getting things done. Here's the weird thing. Do you guys, producers, if you have the full screen of the thing that I sent about the Biden and the incentives that folks in red states, most of the red states are taking advantage of the incentives from the Biden administration that you don't really hear about. And then Trump wants to take them away, but he's going to have a problem because the red states don't want him to take away all of those incentives that they're getting from the Biden administration. It's crazy. So you guys have no idea of what's going on. You just vote. You voted on stuff that people told you that you believed, right? Like the Biden administration is actually doing really good stuff. They're actually fixing the economy. Inflation is coming down. But all right, we'll see. Anyway, let's get back to this. So first time it was like, Ivanka Trump was in the cabinet and Jared Kushner was in the cabinet and they were making these deals and they still, Donald Trump was still running his business on the side and they were getting money from China and reportedly from all over. China reportedly everywhere. They left with billions of dollars. So it's all of these, this nepotism. So now if Ron DeSantis, if Hegseth drops out, they want to drop in Ron DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis wants to make sure that he's going to get it. And then Trump says, if I appoint you, Ron DeSantis, as the SecDef or the DEF-SEC, either one, that's why we have Ron DEF-SEC-TIMONIOUS. If you get it, Ron DEF-SEC, Defense Secretary Timonius. If you're explaining it, maybe you guys can get it. That's what I asked you if you got it in the comments. So if you will appoint Lara Trump as the senator to fill your Senate seat, then I will appoint you to be the Secretary of Defense, Marco Rubio. So the possibility that the governor himself could end up at the Pentagon may factor into that decision. That's the thing. Initially, Lara Trump was not part of all this, the source said, but there is no way it could have been avoided. The conversations between DeSantis and Trump represent a remarkable turnaround in their relationship. The two men were once close allies, but became bitter rivals when DeSantis ran against Trump for president last year in the GOP primary. But Trump has been willing to put past disputes aside. If appointed, DeSantis would join a host of Florida politicians in Trump's cabinet, including former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi and Representative Mike Walz. By the way, that's going to be one of our things that we talk about today. Florida, you'll see that it'll drop later. The Florida cabinet. Okay, so this is an indication that everything is transactional. That I believe many politicians, especially the MAGA folks and the Republicans on this, they have no morals, they have no integrity. Donald Trump putting it aside, no, this is transactional. You scratch my back, I will scratch yours. You put my daughter-in-law in as senator, I will let bygones be bygones, and I will make you the Secretary of Defense. I don't care how many times I've called you Ron DeSanc-TIMONIOUS. I don't care how many times that I've said bad shit about you. It doesn't matter. Transactional politics. Wow. Maybe I should just become transactional like that. I just can't. I have to be able to like sleep at night or look at myself in the mirror. I just can't. I can't do it. So I think I would be a bad politician, or maybe I'd be a great politician because I wouldn't stand for this BS. Trump and DeSantis have personally discussed the governor becoming the next Secretary of Defense, and they've talked about it, appointing Lara Trump to fill Rubio's seat. Yes, someone said Lara Trump. Yes, Lara Trump. Did she forget the U in her name? Ron DeSantis, I mean, by the way, is supposed to be governor until 2027. That's a long time. You know, Tim said to me last night, like, why would he want to be Secretary of Defense? He is the governor of Florida. Yeah, I mean, it's another notch on his resume. It's a big deal being Secretary of Defense. I don't know. I don't know if is it a fair trade-off? Who knows? Who knows? Here's the thing. DeSantis is a Navy veteran. He might have an easier Senate confirmation than Hegseth. I believe that he would. And we know about Hegseth. So let's talk about Hegseth, okay? Because you have all of this reporting that's happening now, right? And then I have to stop saying right so much. That's one of my little things that I say a lot. Right? So you have all these things about Hegseth. Okay, so Hegseth's mother. No, not that. Let's do the breaking news. So then the breaking news, after this report about Donald Trump possibly kicking Pete Hegseth to the curb, okay, and putting in Ron DeSantis. His mom, who wrote this letter, or wrote an email saying that her son, she was disgusted by his behavior towards women, how he treated women. His mom somehow showed up on Fox News. Okay, that's second. But first, they caught up with Pete Hegseth this morning after this Ron DeSantis reporting on Capitol Hill. And they asked him about this. And he said, it's surprising. This is what he said just this morning, not long ago. Here it is.
Have you had any conversations with the president-elect about replacing you with Governor DeSantis?
I spoke to the president-elect this morning. He said, keep going, keep fighting. Behind you all the way.
So you're in this all the way.
Why would I back down? I've always been a fighter. I'm here for more fighters. This is personal, passionate for me.
You're not withdrawing your name from consideration, just to be clear.
We're meeting all day with senators.
I know your mom was just on Fox. She says that you are a changed.
Okay, so that was him this morning. He said, I spoke to the president-elect. The president-elect says, keep fighting, keep going, I'm behind you all the way. How many times have you heard Donald Trump say that to people? and then poof, they are gone. Do you guys believe him? Just tell me. You don't have to put up a poll. Do you guys believe him? Do you believe that he's behind Pete Hegseth all the way? Do you think he's actually so transactional that he would put Ron DeSantis in? The reporter mentioned Pete Hegseth's mother. Pete, you can't believe a word from these people, by the way, says. Amen. I agree. LOL, no, says Yolanda on TikTok. Nope, 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 nope. He lies, says in Peruvian. Yeah, it's crazy. Valerie Davis spells. No, I agree. I don't believe it. Okay, so this is a mom who was on Fox this morning talking about how she loved her son after she wrote that scathing email to him, then took it back. She said she loves her son.
But we are broken by your behavior and your lack of character. Mm-hmm. When you wrote that, what's the backstory? What was going on that made you so angry you wanted to write that?
Well, I will tell that story in a moment, but let me make two statements first, and one is to President Trump. And I want to say thank you for your belief in my son. We all believe in him. We really believe that he is not that man he was 7 years ago. I'm not that mother. And I hope people will hear that story today and the truth of that story. So the other thing I want to say is I am here to tell the truth. To tell the truth to the American people and tell the truth to the senators on the Hill, right, especially our female senators. I really hope that you will not.
I hadn't seen this ever. Wait. Especially to our female senators. Do you guys know why I'm sighing? Come on. Do you guys know why I'm sighing? Is this, I don't want to beat up on anybody's mom, right? But do you guys know why I'm sighing? Mom. Hey, Mom, I love you. You wrote this email. I understand or whatever, but I'm your son. And this is not going to happen for me. You've got to get out there and you got to help me. Would you just get out there and help me change things, Mom? Okay, son, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know this was going to come to light. And I just didn't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a guilt trip. Thank you, Sophia Sharif. Oh my God, Crimea River, please stop with the BS. I know. I hate beating up on anybody's mom, but it's a little cringy, especially to the female senators. Look, people can change. I don't disagree with that. But has his behavior because remember, this was back before like when she wrote this, did she even know about the stuff that happened in the hotel? Or well, it did happen. At least there was a police report, that part. Some of it happened. But the other stuff that reportedly happened, did she even know about that when she wrote this email? I wonder how she felt about that. Again, look, I don't know what happened, but it's just, I don't know. It feels to me like he put his mom out there to cover up and do some cleanup on aisle SA. On aisle womanizing. Okay, go on, please.
Listen to the media and that you will listen to Pete.
Well,
don't listen to the media and that you will listen to Pete. Okay, so you guys let me know what you think about that. But also, she is also now saying, it's always blame the media. I think the media is at fault for a lot of stuff. And I hate it because it's a knee-jerk reaction to blame the media. Everybody always wants to blame the media. It's always the media's fault, right? It's the media. It's the media. Oh my gosh, I never take responsibility for myself. It is the media's fault. Linda Ferker says she's definitely doing cleanup. Saying that while she is literally speaking to the media. Exactly. Okay, says Amanda. Yes, she's backpedaling and F-popping, girl, bye, says Kelly Hastings. That is not the end of her media blame game. She also talked about, because the media, she was contacted by the New York Times after that, and she talked about the email and then said she took it back, blah, 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 blah. But this is her, again, doubling down on her media criticism. Here it is.
It was a difficult time. I want to say something about the media. And part of today is to discredit the media and how they operate. When they contact you, I let a few phone calls go, but then they call you and say they threaten you. That's the first thing they do. They say, unless you make a statement, we will publish it as is. And I think that's a despicable way to treat anyone. Threats are dangerous, and they're hard on families.
So to recap, you were angry
Can you
about.
pause, please? Can you back that up? I want you guys to listen to that statement, and then just back it up to the very beginning, and then play it again. I want you guys to listen to this statement.
It was a difficult time. I want to
tell me if you picked up on what I picked up on. Again, because I'm just hearing this. I know that but go on. Here it is.
It was a difficult time. I want to say something about the media, and part of today is to discredit the media and how they operate. When they contact you, I let a few phone calls go, but then they call you and say they threaten you. That's the first thing they do. They say, unless you make a statement, we will publish it as is. And I think that's a despicable way.
Ray Ingram, you picked up on that. You picked up on that because she didn't say, how do you feel? The media did not say to her, whatever. I don't know what they said, but she's not saying like the media didn't say, unless you say something, we're going to trash your son. Unless you say something, we're going to trash you. That was not a threat. Unless you say something, we're going to publish as is. I mean, is that a threat? Ken Penrod. Seriously, guys. And again, this woman is not, a public figure, but she put herself out there. So she's good. If she puts herself out there, we can talk about it. It's not at all, right, Ray Ingram? That is not a threat. That's not a threat. Unless you say something, we're going to publish as is. So what does that mean? That means we don't have a statement from you. So we're going to say what this is. She doesn't get to decide what the media gets to publish or gets to say about any of this. It's not her decision. The part that she has control over is to say, yes, I wrote this about my son. I was angry. It was impulsive. Or I don't believe it's different. Whatever part of this is to discredit the media. That's a Freudian slip, says NPM. She also said part of this is to discredit the media. That is a Freudian slip. It's not a Freudian slip. She said the quiet part out loud. They said to you, you have to go on and discredit the media. Thank you, NPM. I didn't even pick that up. Part of this is to discredit the media. Mo Watch says that's what call blocking is for. The thing is that she could say no comment. She could hang up the phone. She could say, I stand by my son. She could say, none of this is true. She could say, I love my son. Let me tell you why. She could also say, I will make a statement to you. Listen to me. I will make a statement to you. One caveat: if you want a statement from me, and if you have to agree to this, they may do it, they may not. You have to publish the entire thing. You cannot take it out of context. You cannot do one sentence here, one sentence there. Publish the entire thing. Here's what I say. My son and I disagreed on something. As in any family, we have disagreements. I wrote him a letter. It was a knee-jerk reaction or an impulsive act. Don't get me wrong. I love my son. And I was angry with him at the time. This was however many years ago. I am not that person. My son is not that person. She's saying that now, and I'm sure from part of the statement, maybe she did say that. But you have to publish the entire thing. And then say, my son's a good man, he'd make a great Secretary of Defense, blah, blah, on and on and on. And that's her contribution to it. But she cannot decide what is published and what is not. Part of this is to discredit the media. She wasn't supposed to say that, guys. That is her mission. That's what I said, clean up on aisle SA. And they said, you got to go and you got to go discredit the media because people are believing it. And she said that. She said that. Whoops, Rachel Dory on TikTok. Yeah, whoops. Okay, let's keep going.
To treat anyone. Threats are dangerous, and they're hard on families.
So to recap, you were angry about what was going on, his behavior during the divorce.
Right.
And so you wrote that email. And then, you know, a couple hours later, you apologized, and you
For
guys
some of the
talked,
words,
and you
yes.
worked it out?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Pete and I are very close today. In fact, our whole family is very tight-knit.
Okay, that is believable. That could happen. Louise says, and put this up because we can start putting up. You guys can put up comments that are people that criticize us. Louise says, "Move on, Don!" Exclamation point. The mother thing is boring. Do you guys think the mother thing is boring? I love it. Somebody dropped the ball on coaching mom before trotting her out. LOL. Yeah, move on, Don. The mother thing is boring. Maybe you guys think the mother thing is boring. I'm just saying, look, I just heard that for the first time, and I'm saying, okay, whatever. All right, so look, she apologized for some of the words, not all of them, says NKNY. All right, whatever. Move on. Thank you, Dee Dee. I'm moving on. I was going to move on anyway. You guys are so mean to me. Part of this morning was for me to discredit the subscribers in the comments. Oh, wait, I wasn't supposed to say that. Anyways, so that is what's going on. That was the mom. So the mom is apologizing. She's saying, you know, she's going on, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we'll see what happens to Pete Hegseth. I don't know if he's going, who knows what's going to happen. The reporting is kind of all over the place. He's saying, you know, Lisa G says, hey, it's Don's show. I know, but I want to do things that are interesting to you guys. Okay. Hit the hearts on TikTok, hit the thumbs up if you're here. I'm going to hit my own thumbs up. Okay, so here's the thing. We'll see what happens with him. We'll see what happens with all of them. And this is only the beginning. There's going to be a lot more. Okay, can we talk about this pardon? This pardon thing, I'm telling you guys, I hate to do so much on it. It's driving me crazy. All of this pearl clutching, all this, oh my gosh, Biden should not have done this. I know how you guys feel. I've been going on, all the people who've been sort of pearl clutching and saying, this makes the Democratic Party look bad. And how do we do this? And how do we argue and make our case to the MAGA folks and Republicans when Joe Biden, oh my God. Excuse me. We're beyond that. We are beyond that. Democrats, centrists, people who have some sense, moderates, stop it with the virtue signaling, the being holier than thou. Right? Just stop it. Joe Biden, it's his son. Look at what's on the other side. I don't think he lied. The man changed his mind. People can change their minds. Circumstances change. Like, just get over yourself and move on and grow a pair. Up top or down bottom. Grow a pair. The pardon is done. They need to fight for something else, says M. Moy. I agree. And stop it like, I don't know. I feel two ways about it. No, I don't feel two ways about it. Joe Biden did the right thing. Joe Biden did the right thing. Leave the man alone. There are other things. If you want to be, nitpick on Joe Biden, he's on his way out. Start nitpicking. Look at what's happening. Look at Pete Hegseth. Look at Matt Gaetz. Look at all of these folks. Oh my gosh, someone says, Jay Wardwood says that this is this true? I have not seen this. Chris and Stephen A. suggesting Biden to pardon Trump. I don't know which Chris are you talking about? Oh my God, to pardon Trump for what? What? You guys have to be careful about it because, people will say things just because to grab attention or just to curry favor from a certain demographic. I'm not saying that they're doing this. I'd have to read I'd have to read it to find out. But to suggest that for what? Why would he pardon Trump? Here's the thing. Why would he pardon Trump when Trump can pardon himself? That makes no sense. That would just be an act of just for what? That would be another sort of virtuous signaling thing, like, I am so whatever, I'm going to pardon him just to show that there's no, for what? Donald Trump can pardon himself. He's the president. What is happening with these people? Why would he pardon Trump? Why? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Come on, y'all. Come on, Stephen A. and Chris. Are you kidding me? For what? Donald Trump can pardon himself. You ever think about that? He will be the president of the United States. He can pardon himself. And by the way, the Supreme Court has already said that he is immune. Really? Okay, so I'm with Jim Clyburn. I love Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn was on my old colleague's show, my former colleagues, my dear friend Laura Coates' show. And he said, look, I spoke to Joe Biden. I told Joe Biden he should pardon his son, and I'm okay with it. I am with you, Clyburn. This is a man. This is a real man here. Here he is.
So glad you're with me here today. You've undoubtedly heard the criticism, and I wonder, are you okay with the pardon of Hunter Biden?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I am absolutely okay with it. I don't know how many people
Thank you, Jim
urged him to do
Pause it.
so.
Pause it. Pause it. Okay, when someone asks you that, if someone asked a Democrat, if someone asked any Democrat, any moderate, anyone that comes out, when someone says, "Are you okay with Joe Biden pardoning Hunter Biden?" That's how you answer. Back it up, please. I am absolutely okay. Move the fuck on. It's not even worth debating or talking about, even though I'm talking about it. It's not even worth it. Please play it again.
Biden?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I am absolutely okay with it. I don't know how many people urged him to do so, but I did.
You did?
2 weeks, yes, I did. Because I know he was targeted. We all know that, but for the fact he was Joe Biden's son, he would never have been taken through these gyrations. And so I told him the last time I talked to him.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
What was his reaction to that, by the way?
He seemed to be a bit reticent about it.
Okay, I like what Richard Garcia says. Boom, done. That's it. That's all you have to say. Virginia Thomas says they need to stand together like Republicans. Anne Marie says that's how you answer the question. Louise says loud and clear, Biden. L. Sawyer says Newsom has lost me to say he does not. I don't know. What did Newsom say? Let me know. I don't know. I don't follow that. So if you guys are getting this from cable or any of that, I can't watch because of things like that. I can't watch with the browbeating of Democrats now. How do you feel now that you said that he was the Department of Justice is independent? Yes, the Department of Justice is independent. But Joe Biden also, as president of the United States, has the right to pardon whomever he wants. Anybody who's out there saying that he should not have, if you would not pardon your kid under these circumstances, then you are a jacked up parent. So thank you, James Clyburn. I agree. This is Mondaire Jones on Hunter Biden's pardon.
And Mondaire, I have to ask you about the president's decision to pardon his son Hunter. Several congressional Democrats have condemned that decision publicly. I wonder how you think this could impact the party and the credibility, especially since we heard from Biden so many times that he would definitely not do this.
Yeah, look, I think the president was wrong to say that he was never going to do this. I think everyone understands the compulsion that a father would feel towards his only surviving son, and
Oh,
in this
please.
case,
I don't know how Mondaire Jones is going to end up on this, but he was wrong to say it. Now, how was he wrong to say that? Right now, like, say like, oh, Jesus. Sometimes things change. I was like, it's not wrong to say it. Mondaire, sir, let me be respect. Mr. Jones. The president was faced with different circumstances at the time he made that statement. They changed. And under the circumstances, if you look at what has happened in this country, and if you look at the Trump administration and the administration elect right now, and you see the turmoil that they're going through, and you see the kinds of people he's putting in these positions of power that will have power and influence over his son, it is no wonder that he made that decision. I'm glad he did it, and I stand by him. Next question. Am I wrong? You can tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Says right. Yeah. I stand by that decision. I don't even understand why it's even a controversy. That's what intelligent people do. When we get new evidence, we get new information. If we learn something new that perhaps allows us to make a different decision, what do? We make a different decision, which means we change our minds. It is my prerogative as a human being when I am faced with new evidence and new information, I am allowed to what? To react to that. And if I decide to change my mind based on that new information, then I will do so. Because otherwise, that's not an intelligent or smart thing to do. People change their minds all the time. And if you have evidence to back it up, it's okay. Next should be the answer when interviewed, says Benjamin 12. I agree with you. Please keep going. And let's see where Mondaire Jones ends up.
Surviving son. And in this case, you've got a combination of factors. One, Hunter Biden would never have been charged with these crimes were he not the president's son in the first place. And and number two, you've got now Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, potentially the next FBI director, on the record on multiple occasions identifying Hunter Biden as someone who they would go after. So I think for a variety of reasons, the president had a good justification to do what he did. Where he erred, I think, is when he said that he wasn't going to do it because he didn't have to make that promise to the American people. And breaking that promise, I think, looks really bad because it is bad to have broken that promise. I think that the American people, having just elected Donald Trump, a convicted felon, who, in addition to his 34 felony convictions in one of those matters, was facing over 50 other charges that ended up being dismissed after the American people voted to return him to the White House, are not going to be focused on this. They're focused on how to make ends meet. They're focused on a variety of other things that are of great importance to them. The use of the pardon power by a president of the United States, in this case, the Democratic president, especially in the context of all of the other more egregious uses of the pardon power by Donald Trump and other presidents throughout the course of history, is not going to rise to the level of concern. And I disagree with Mr. O'Keefe because I did watch the interview earlier. This does not deprive Democrats of the argument that they are standing up for the rule of law in any way, shape, or form. You've got a man who incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th, and who, with nomination after nomination, even over the past several days, is showing a great disdain for the rule of law. So the president.
Okay, that's good. I get it. Look, Mondaire, he ended up in the right place. Too many words, though. You don't need that many words. You don't need that many words, and you didn't need the first part about he should never have said that. You don't need that. Circumstances changed. The man did the right thing. All you have to do is look at what happened on the other side. A convicted felon, someone who inspired or incited an insurrection. Next, this is not even. And the most important thing that he said was that the American people don't give a shit, and the American people do not care. You know who cares? The chattering class, the media, who's trying to come out with content about maybe if I say that Donald Trump, that Joe Biden shouldn't have done it, and perhaps Joe Biden should be. Someone said, what if you say this? Because then that will get people's attention, and then the MAGA folks will like, and you'll get more subscribers. If you say, what if how about this? How about this, guys? What if he pardons Donald Trump? Boom! Oh my God, they'll lose their minds. Yeah, that's it. Now that is interesting. Say that. That's what happened. That's what happened. Then, the MAGA folks, they're going to tune into my channel. I'll get more subscriptions. Then they're going to like me. Then they'll say, you know what, man, that Don is coming around. I was not born yesterday, but even if I was, it wasn't last night. It was earlier. So I had some time during the day and the night to learn some shit. You guys, come on now. You know that's what's happening. Maybe if I say that he should pardon Donald Trump, then the MAGA Republican bros will be like, oh, great job, buddy. Now you're coming around. That is, I knew I always liked that guy. Man, that's some bullshit. That is the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. Please have some integrity. Please. Don't do shit just for clicks and giggles and likes and pats on the heads in the back. Have some integrity. Come on. Jay Warden says, speak done. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm tired of all the bullshit. It is crazy. All right, so listen, I'll move on. And then I want to move on, and I want to talk about a couple things. One is where I talked about people doing, especially politicians, just doing things that are transactional. People, and again, an example of what I was just sort of making fun of is transactional. There's always some transactional thing. I will do this, I'll get more of this, then I will please my bosses who will think that I'm like being in the middle, and I'll like the conservatives, and I'll get a better contract, all that shit. That's what's happening here. Okay. So everything is transactional. Even Pete Hegseth is transactional, because Pete Hegseth was on Fox News complaining about guess who. So make sure we play it from the very beginning, because this is Pete Hegseth. This is a clip from CNN, but the clip on CNN is from him years ago on Fox News, talking shit about Donald Trump, as they all do. And then because they want positions of power, or they want more money, or they want more power, or they want more media exposure, then they come around to where the power is. Right? So just see if you recognize this Pete Hegseth. Watch.
But it's typical Trump. All bluster, very little substance. He talks a tough game, but then when pressed on it, he's an armchair tough guy. I hate to say it, but this is a guy who said that John McCain is not a war hero, yet he sought his own 5 military deferments.
Don't let people play you, because they do. They don't care. They care about themselves. Just like all the people who said, I voted for this, I voted for that, I voted for the price of eggs, I voted for whatever. And then did you ever vote? You ever think about that as a patriot, as an American, you should also think about other people as you were voting? You should think about women. Did you ever think about, other folks like who have issues, people who love the Affordable Care Act and they don't want to take it away because they need health care? Hey, I'm a man, but I care that women should have the right to be able to do with their bodies. I do care about democracy. It may not have been the best message. Maybe people, Democrats over-indexed on some of the social issues like, trans, and they let people steal that message. But I do like the idea that they care about other people, and that they're thinking about other people besides themselves. And so they want to protect trans people. And that's actually a good thing. You can work with them and tell them, hey, look, the messaging may be too much. Or maybe you're over indexing on, like, start caring a little bit more, at least messaging to me that you care a little bit more about my issues. But I do like that you care about other people who are Americans as well. That's the patriotic thing to do. Rather than, hey, if you do this, if you do that, and I'll get more followers, I will do this, or I will, I'll be in the cabinet, all this stuff. Yeah. Speaking of, so let's put up this full screen, because they're going to be working on this Doge thing together, right? They're going to be working together on this Department of Government, whatever it is, oversight of whatever the thing is. Well, this is Vivek Ramaswamy. He spent years attacking Elon Musk as China's circus monkey. Now, that is from him, and that is from CNN's K-Files. Yeah. Now they're going to be working together. Again, everything is transactional. Everything is transactional. That explains it itself. I have the reporting here. I don't even go. It's not even worth it, but you know what's happening. Vivek Ramaswamy spent years attacking Elon Musk as China's circus monkey. That's a quote. So there you go. Everything's transactional. Here's one thing that I do know, though. Okay. And I don't know if did we ever get the thing of the woman? I'm not sure if we have that. There's a woman who's in the airport, Nikki, did we put that up? Who's disparaging the Indian family?
I have that done.
You do have that. Okay. I'm glad you have that, because I want people to say that there is no systemic racism in America, that we've somehow overcome this, and what the Civil War was actually fought over, what we should be teaching in schools. I know they don't care. The leopard eats their face or whatever. I just want, like, Vivek Ramaswamy and the people who say that are the Nikki Haley's of the world said this, what was the Civil War fought over? It was slavery. There's no systemic racism in this country. Now, this is a woman in America in a public space with an Indian family. And if I had been on this, I think it was like the plane train at the airport or whatever, or maybe it was the bus or whatever, I would have lost my damn mind. Here it is.
Not originally, no. You're from India.
I was born in America.
My blood is boiling right now. I honestly can't even believe something like this is a real thing. We were just in this altercation with this lady who was giving us a really hard time, telling my kids, to shut up. And I lost it and said, you don't have a right to talk to my kids like that.
You guys are crazy.
Indian people are crazy? You told me to have some more curry, right?
Yeah, here.
Have some more curry?
To record your tandoori.
My tandoori. Wow.
Some more?
Sweetheart, I'm about no, you can remove her, though, from being rude and racist right now. Can you do that or no?
It doesn't care about racist. You're racist towards me. I'm American.
So are we.
You're not American.
No? Not American?
Not originally, no. You're from India.
I was born in America.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Your passport.
Yeah, you want to see my passport? Is that going to make you happy?
Please take her off the bus.
Get off the bus.
Shut up. You really going to do this?
Yeah, get off the bus, racist.
It's not right for them to say that to me.
Hey, ma'am, she's out of line.
These guys, they're taking
Listen, she's been on the bus cussing and screaming. She started calling racist slurs to this nice family. Didn't do anything. She doesn't need to be on this bus. She needs to go on the other bus. She's making me uncomfortable.
Now, I saw the thing up there that said, we don't know what happened before. I don't know what happened before. I don't know. I don't care what happened before. As it relates to me, I don't know if maybe something triggered her. I doubt it. There's nothing that would happen before that would make me say some shit like that. Is there anything that someone could say to you that would make you turn racist? that would make you say something about your blanket tandoori chicken, that you are not, I saw your passport, you're not American. What does it matter? Does she understand that some people have dual citizenship? This is what is been unleashed in this country over the past just decade or so, starting with the racists who came out of the woodworks like cockroaches during Obama, and then the Trump being the imprimatur for people to be able to say and act like this by not denouncing a lot of these things. And then you get people, neo-Nazis marching on the streets in Ohio and Wisconsin and whatever they are. And then you get people who think it's okay to act that way in public. Because everyone says, well, that's just one example. It's one example of a lot of shit like that that's happening. So when someone says, well, we are beyond that. There's no racism, systemic racism. We need to stop talking about it. We need to do what, okay, you believe that? And then you get on and someone like Ann Coulter says, I wouldn't vote for you because you're not a real American, you're Indian. And then you change your name to nickname so that people don't know your real Indian name. They don't say it so much. So for all of those people, especially the folks who are who think, I'm just going to be honest, who think like they want to cozy up to whiteness, which is really cozying up to not just whiteness, because not all white people are like that, but just sort of the supremacy of what the MAGA folks think, that sort of mindset. You want to cozy up to that because you want to be close to power. For the people who are saying there's, especially the people of color who are voting against their own interests, the people of color who are saying that, I'm sorry, I'm sick of secular racism, I'm sick of whatever. You should be thanking Black people for the civil rights movement and the people who fought with Black people, a lot of them Jewish, honestly, who fought and died for civil rights. You should be thanking Black people for the freedoms that you have right now, rather than demonizing them or trying to make excuses about what happened with the Civil War and what they're doing and the wokeness and the blah, 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 all of this bullshit. You should be saying, thank you, Black people, for making my path to this country easier, for the civil rights that I have in this country, that my children have, that my grandkids will have. Thank you, Black people, especially Black women who always do the right thing. You should be saying, thank you so much. Without you, we may not be in the position that we are in now. So rather than voting against us on the very same policies and issues that help to facilitate your life in America, you should be thanking us and voting along with us, trying to understand what our plight is as Black people who came to this country unwillingly, our ancestors, not like you who hey, I'm going to have a better life. I'm going to go to America. I'm going to go to America because, in large part, of the civil rights that were fought and won for Black people, that Black people fought for all people, especially women, who are the biggest beneficiary of the civil rights movement and diversity, equity, and inclusion, or affirmative action. White women, the biggest beneficiary. You should be saying, thank you, Black people, and especially Black women. You should be taking your cue from this guy.
Okay, I haven't been on TikTok for a bit, and I noticed everyone was tagging me in that whole Andrew Schultz thing about Black women. I'll make a different comment about Andrew Schultz and that little rat Akash thing, but I want to say something about Black women. And this was my mother, and I God is my witness right now. May the Lord strike me down if I'm lying. My mother told me and my siblings when we were young kids, before I remember it was when my older brother started secondary school. It was a big deal. My older brother going off to the big boy school, And my mum sat us down. She said, if you're ever in trouble out there in the real world, look for a black woman. My mum said this. My mum was raised in this country from the age of 6, the UK. She said, look for a black woman. She said, anywhere in the world, a black woman will help you. She was never wrong. She was never wrong. But like, it's incredible that my mother said that. And I don't know what my mum went through. But I remember seeing photos of my mum in school when she was in high school and stuff. And like, she had loads of black friends and stuff. And they were all black women. Because my mum wasn't a pick-me. She only had female friends. And so she obviously felt some protection. And growing up for me, I noticed in my school, it was a very predominantly white school. The black teachers looked out for me. I had a black Jamaican teacher called Mrs. Forrester. She looked out for me. But even outside of school, when I started growing out my hair, it was a black woman that taught me how to look after my curls, what products to use. It's black women that built me up on this platform and got me to where I am. I have to give credit to where credit is due. It was women in general, but black women specifically who boosted me and told me how pretty I was and how great I was. But I am trying to make a point here, and it's that black women get treated the worst. The worst. Malcolm X said this. He goes, unfortunately, they are treated the worst. By the medical field, by the education field, by the police, by everything. Yet they're the ones that give the most love. And for like, I saw what he said in that post, Andrew Schultz, and like some comments, and it's sad, and it hurts my heart when I think of those things, because I'll tell you right now, it wasn't that long ago, my friend Jordan, who I love and boast about, Jordan's got these, Jordan's family is just, when I was homeless and Jordan introduced me to his family, they treated me like I was one of them. They didn't even care. They were just like, they treat me like family. It didn't feel awkward. You know when you go over to someone's house and you just sat in the corner for a bit? It didn't feel like that. And I know not all black people are the same. Obviously, I know that. But there's one thing that black people universally have, and that is that beautiful smile and beautiful love that they just give out. But I'm telling you, it's a special feeling. I remember going to Jordan's once, and like I was just heartbroken. His family just like welcomed me, and they were like, "Where's the?" You know what? You know what his family said to me? They go. Oh, we've got a plate ready for you. And then Jordan's cousin just looks me up and then goes, "You're still skinny, boy." And I'm just like, right, well, yeah, I know I'm home. Just no, I can't sit and not make a comment on this because no, and I know I made a post like months ago about black men, but yeah, just and go look through history. Go look at what Nina Simone did. Go look at what Doreen Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence's mother, did. Go look at what Betty Shabazz did. Like these people are just incredible. And we don't give credit where credit is due. We really don't. And I think nowadays we're living in this world where if someone's pretty, we give them credit. Credit for what? They were just born beautiful, but like we don't look at the person's soul.
Thank you.
We don't look at like who. We don't look at what people can attribute to life. If we did, we would give Mary C. Cole a huge statue. So that's my 2 cents, and I hope just thank you, and yeah, and thank you to the specific thank you to the Jamaican community, because there was this Jamaican woman who helped my grandmother, and that's a different story. And just black women in general, thank you for everything you've done for me, for everything you've done for my family, and for everything you've done for our people. My people wouldn't have survived in the UK if it weren't for black people standing up for us, coming to the protests for us, protesting with the bus rallies for us. Yeah, I know my history. So thank you.
So there you go. And it's the truth. There is no lie in that. That is the truth. I'm just going to share a story before I leave you. So when I was growing up, I remember I had this one friend in high school. I went to this high school. It just had been integrated like maybe a decade before I got there. It was we were in this town called Baker. And you can, check it out. And then, so Baker had just become integrated, and people didn't like that, Black folks are coming to the school and whatever. So a lot of folks weren't happy about it. But for the most part, we tried to get along. There was a church across the street from us. They didn't believe in races mixing. So our school prom or whatever was not school sponsored. And so we had to have it off campus. We had it like a municipal hall across the street, a little bit further down the street from the school. So we never could have it on campus because they didn't believe in sort of racist mixing. So we couldn't use our gym in our school for a prom or events like that. So you don't believe me? Look at it. It's called Baker High School. But then outside of Baker, and even the ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas Greenfield, her mom could not go to the school, and I think maybe her as well, but because of the integration part of it. So they were not able to go to the school. That same school that I went to, even though we were from towns that were adjacent to each other. So then there was another town called Central, which was really, like if you went to Central High School or Central Private or whatever, it was all white. They did not let you in. I remember one day we wanted to go to a dance there, and I went, and the guy said, N-word, don't you get out of that car, turn right back around and get back in. So I say this to, it's my doggies up here. When I was growing up, my parents were always open to everybody. So I remember I would invite the white kids home, and my parents would always be like, hey, you want something to eat? Whatever, we'll make you a plate. Will you want something? Come in, whatever. My dad was this old, my stepdad was this Louisiana guy, but down from in Bayou country, kind of talk like this. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. And I'd have to translate when people would come home because he had such a thick accent. And my dad would always say, my friends would come over, we'd have hang out or whatever. And then once we got old enough, it was 18 was a drinking age when I was a kid. So when we turned 18, my dad would say, if you guys are going to drink or whatever, you're not going home. And he would say, to all of the kids, he would not let them go home, whether they were white, black, whatever. He would say, you'd sleep on the floor, cover with the door. And meaning, you would stay there. If we didn't have enough blankets for you, then you would do the front door is your cover. I remember once I was shocked. I asked one of my friends, I would say, hey, I've never met your parents. I would go to your house and he goes, whatever. He goes, do you want to die? And I said, no. And he goes, I could never bring you home to meet my parents. I was like, wow. I don't care who you were. My family would say, every time you came over, it was like, do you want something to eat? My dad would say, who are you? Who's your family? Where are you from? All that. And every single black family I knew was the same way. But when I was going to high school, not every white family was the same way. So that is the lens through which I view America and the world. And I realized that I went to high school in the 80s, but it also happened in college. I was class president in high school through some luck because of my personality. And it's so funny. One of my college friends is just texting me. I guess he's watching. And he says, hey, that looks familiar. I see that guy. I know that guy. Hi, Jason. So, and so anyway, I got every day in the mail I would get, ask my mom, just letter after letter after letter. Please pledge our fraternity from LSU. Please come and pledge our fraternity. You're whatever class president. And then I would get there and they'd be like, oh shit, you're black. We don't have black folks in our fraternities. So you know, that was the 80s and 90s. And still to this day, I hear it's very similar at LSU. So I say that because that's the lens through which I view this world. And that man who was speaking before is telling the truth. He is preaching the truth. And that's how many people in this country grow up. But folks on the other side believe that there is no systemic racism. They believe all those things, that all of a sudden it is over, that people aren't discriminated against, that families aren't raised differently, that those things don't linger on. And that is why, as a member of Generation X, that we thought it would be different because our friends sort of experienced those things and we talked about it and we were like, we don't like that. We don't like that our parents are that way. We don't like whatever those things. And then you grew up and you became a crazy MAGA sort of conspiracy person or racist or whatever. And it just breaks our hearts that having experienced all of that stuff, that somehow you became co-opted by it. And that's why we are so disappointed in many of you who are our age, for the most part, because Gen X, that's who voted for this MAGA stuff. So anytime somebody tells you there's no systemic racism in this country and America is all this and this is what the Civil War was fought over and whatever, and you hear that coming out of the mouth of a person of color who may not have the Black experience in this country, and all of a sudden they get here as immigrants and they think like they want to be adjacent to power and to whiteness, and they just honestly they want to be white, or they think that they're white. You ain't white. That's why you ain't president, Mr. and Mrs. Brown person. I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps us with the algorithm. And also, we'd love for you to become a subscriber. So hit that button too. We're live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Eastern, so there's plenty of content for you to check out.